In the realm of psychology, the concept of professional victimhood refers to individuals who adopt a persistent victim mentality in both their personal and professional lives. While genuine victimhood results from real harm or injustice, professional victimhood is characterized by a chronic pattern of perceiving oneself as a victim in most situations, often without substantial evidence. Professional victimhood often stems from an external locus of control. When someone has an external locus of control, they may feel powerless and unable to influence their circumstances, leading to a mindset where they constantly perceive themselves as victims of other people's actions or systemic issues. Over time, this belief system can become a core part of their identity. Victimhood can evolve into a core aspect of one's identity through various reinforcing mechanisms. Understanding these factors is crucial for addressing and transforming this mindset. Reinforcement through validation. When individuals receive sympathy, attention, or support for their perceived victim status, it can reinforce their sense of victimhood. This validation, while often well-meaning, can make the victim identity more attractive and difficult to relinquish. Social and cultural narratives. Societal and cultural narratives that glorify or prioritize victimhood can reinforce this identity. When being a victim is seen as a way to gain moral high ground or societal recognition, individuals may cling to this identity to feel validated and valued. Another key factor in professional victimhood is cognitive distortions. These are irrational thought patterns that reinforce negative beliefs. Common distortions include black and white thinking, seeing situations in extremes without recognizing the gray areas; catastrophizing, expecting the worst possible outcome in any situation; personalization, blaming oneself for events outside one's control or believing others' actions are directed at oneself. These cognitive distortions create a negative feedback loop, perpetuating the sense of victimhood and reinforcing feelings of helplessness and resentment. Learned helplessness. When individuals repeatedly encounter situations where they feel powerless to effect change, they may develop learned helplessness. This psychological state reinforces the belief that they are perpetual victims, incapable of influencing their circumstances. Secondary gains. Sometimes maintaining a victim identity can provide secondary gains, such as avoiding responsibility, evading difficult decisions, or gaining care and attention from others. These benefits, although not always conscious, can make the victim role more appealing. Emotional avoidance. Adopting a victim identity can be a way to avoid confronting deeper emotional pain or trauma. By focusing on external sources of their problems, individuals may avoid the difficult work of introspection and healing. Interpersonal dynamics. Relationships can reinforce victimhood when one's partners, friends, or family members play into the dynamic by either rescuing or further victimizing the individual. These dynamics can perpetuate a sense of helplessness and dependency. Negative self-concept. A deeply ingrained negative self-concept can lead individuals to see themselves as victims in most situations. Low self-esteem and a lack of self-worth reinforce the belief that one deserves or should expect negative treatment from others. Lack of agency. Feeling a lack of control over one's life circumstances can reinforce a victim identity. When individuals believe they are at the mercy of external forces, they are more likely to adopt and maintain a victim mentality. Repetition of trauma. Repeated exposure to trauma or adverse experiences can deeply entrench a victim identity. When individuals face ongoing trauma, it becomes challenging to break free from the mindset that they are perpetual victims. Recognizing and challenging these dynamics is a critical step in transforming victimhood into empowerment. This transformation not only benefits the individual, but also contributes to a more supportive and empathetic society. Extreme manifestations of victimhood. Extreme victimhood can manifest in various profound and debilitating ways, significantly impacting an individual's mental health, relationships, and overall quality of life. In some cases, this may be exacerbated by attachment disorders and personality disorders. Chronic helplessness. Individuals may feel utterly powerless in the face of challenges, believing they have no control over their circumstances. This can lead to severe anxiety, depression, and an inability to take proactive steps to improve their situation. Paranoia and mistrust. Extreme victimhood can lead to a pervasive sense of paranoia and mistrust towards others. Individuals may constantly feel that others are out to harm or deceive them, making it difficult to form healthy relationships and interact socially. Obsessive rumination. Victims may obsessively ruminate on past injustices or perceived slights. This constant mental replay of negative experiences can consume their thoughts, preventing them from moving forward and focusing on positive aspects of life. Identity overload. Victimhood can become a core part of an individual's identity, overshadowing other aspects of their personality and life. They may define themselves primarily by their victim status, limiting their potential for personal growth and self-discovery. Aggression and hostility. In some cases, extreme victimhood can manifest as aggression or hostility towards others. This can be a defensive mechanism to protect oneself from perceived threats or injustices, but it often results in further isolation and conflict. Emotional manipulation. Individuals may use their victim status to manipulate others, seeking sympathy, attention, or special treatment. This can strain relationships and create a cycle of dependency and resentment. Sense of entitlement. There can be a heightened sense of entitlement where individuals believe they deserve special treatment or compensation for their suffering. This can lead to unrealistic expectations and conflicts when their demands are not met. Resentment and bitterness. A pervasive sense of resentment and bitterness can develop towards those perceived as perpetrators, as well as towards others who do not acknowledge their victimhood. This can poison relationships and hinder any form of reconciliation or healing. Perpetual crisis mode. Individuals may live in a perpetual state of crisis, always expecting and preparing for the worst. This constant state of high alert can take a toll on their physical and mental health, leading to chronic stress and related illnesses. Refusal of responsibility. There is often a refusal to take responsibility for one's actions or circumstances, blaming others or external factors for all problems. This lack of accountability can hinder personal development and perpetuate a cycle of victimhood. Self-sabotage. Extreme victims may engage in self-sabotaging behaviors, consciously or unconsciously undermining their own success or happiness. This can reinforce their belief that they are doomed to fail and that their victim status is justified. Pathological dependency. They may develop a pathological dependency on others for emotional support, validation, and decision-making. This dependency can lead to unhealthy, codependent relationships that reinforce their sense of helplessness. Martyr complex. Individuals may adopt a martyr complex, seeing themselves as suffering for a greater cause or enduring hardship nobly. This can be used to justify ongoing victimhood and resist efforts to improve their situation. Resistance to change. Extreme victims may resist any attempts to change their mindset or circumstances, seeing such efforts as invalidating their experiences or minimizing their suffering. This resistance can prevent them from seeking or accepting help that could lead to healing and growth. Attachment disorders, often rooted in early childhood experiences, can exacerbate victimhood. Individuals with insecure attachment styles, anxious, avoidant, or disorganized, may struggle with forming healthy relationships, leading to a heightened sense of victimization. Their early experiences of unreliable or abusive caregivers can create a pattern of expecting and perceiving harm in all relationships, reinforcing a victim mentality. Anxious attachment. Those with anxious attachment may become overly dependent on others for validation and support, fearing abandonment and often perceiving themselves as victims in relationships. Avoidant attachment. Individuals with avoidant attachment may withdraw and isolate themselves, believing that others cannot be trusted and that they are better off alone, perpetuating feelings of victimhood. Disorganized attachment. Those with disorganized attachment may exhibit contradictory behaviors, seeking closeness while also pushing others away, resulting in chaotic relationships and reinforcing their sense of being perpetual victims. Certain personality disorders can significantly reinforce victimhood, making it a dominant aspect of an individual's identity. Borderline personality disorder, BPD. Individuals with BPD often experience intense emotions, fear of abandonment, and unstable relationships. Their tendency to see the world in black and white terms can exacerbate feelings of victimhood, as they may perceive others as either entirely good or entirely bad, often feeling betrayed or victimized by those around them. Narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. Those with NPD may alternate between grandiosity and victimhood, particularly when their sense of entitlement or superiority is challenged. They may perceive any criticism or setback as a personal attack, reinforcing a sense of victimization. Dependent personality disorder. Individuals with this disorder may exhibit extreme dependency on others for their emotional and physical needs, often feeling helpless and incapable of functioning independently. This dependency can reinforce a victim identity, as they see themselves as unable to cope without others' constant support. Paranoid personality disorder. This disorder is characterized by pervasive mistrust and suspicion of others. Individuals may constantly feel victimized by others' perceived intentions or actions, reinforcing their sense of being perpetual victims. While recognizing oneself as a victim is an important step, it's equally important to move beyond this identity to avoid becoming trapped in a cycle of helplessness. Transforming victimhood into empowerment involves several key steps. 1. Reclaiming agency. Victims can reclaim their power by recognizing their ability to make choices and take actions that influence their lives. This involves shifting from a passive stance to an active one, where they take responsibility for their own healing and growth. It's about understanding that while they cannot change the past, they can shape their future. 2. Finding meaning. Many individuals find strength in making sense of their experiences and using them to fuel personal growth. This process, known as post-traumatic growth, involves finding meaning in adversity, which can lead to increased resilience, a stronger sense of self, and a greater appreciation for life. 3. Advocacy and activism. Victims who transform their experiences into advocacy can create significant positive change. By speaking out and fighting for justice, they can help prevent others from experiencing similar harm. This not only empowers the individual but also contributes to broader social change. 4. Building resilience. Developing resilience is a key aspect of moving beyond victimhood. Resilience involves the ability to bounce back from adversity, adapt to change, and keep going in the face of challenges. Techniques such as mindfulness, self-care, and supportive relationships are crucial in building resilience. 5. Seeking support. Professional support from therapists or counselors can be instrumental in helping victims process their experiences and develop strategies for moving forward. Support groups and communities of people with similar experiences can also provide a sense of solidarity and understanding. The journey from victimhood to empowerment is not linear. It is a complex process that involves setbacks and triumphs. However, each step taken toward reclaiming agency, finding meaning, and advocating for oneself and others contributes to personal and collective empowerment. In conclusion, while the role of the victim carries inherent challenges, it also holds significant power. By recognizing their experiences, building resilience, and transforming their pain into purpose, individuals can move from a state of victimhood to one of empowerment. This transformation is not only crucial for individual healing, but also for fostering broader social change. Embracing the power of the victim means acknowledging the past, actively shaping the future, and using personal experiences as a catalyst for growth and advocacy. I hope this video helped you. Thank you for watching.